Hey all, it's Donnie and welcome to Teachers Passing Notes. Had kind of a cool opportunity the other day, got to go and meet this guy.
Hey y'all, my name is Kyri Demby. I am the music teacher here at Jacob Elementary School. I've been teaching for about 16 years. I always say about because I'm I always teach. I don't know what else to say.
No,
Hold on. Okay, try again.
So what that delightful introduction from Kyrie won't tell you is that he's the author of 9 children's books, had an active career in music before he got into education almost 20 years ago, has a pretty active YouTube channel where he produces songs for his students. And the amazing part is that he's able to take all of these skills outside of the classroom and uses them to teach his students inside the classroom lessons about social emotional learning. So let's go ahead and let's meet Kyrie. So after cruising west on I-64 for what felt like forever, finally arrived at Jacob Elementary School in Louisville, Kentucky. Kyrie, he was super nice, met me right at the door. We chatted for about 15 minutes while I set up my recording equipment. And then right off the bat, we started to talk about some of the books that he had written for his students.
I brought a few of them to show, and this is Simon the Self-Control Seal.
Oh, cool.
Taylor the Truth-Telling Tiger, and then I made this one I just did this year. Simon Faces Bully the Blowfish.
So Kyrie is not a classroom teacher per se, he is a music teacher, and I was really interested in why would a music teacher write 9 children's books?
I always tell people I'm like a music teacher, but I teach more SEL, social emotional learning, than I do music. Well, I teach it all together. So. Well, the thing that I started when I wrote Simon the Self-Control Seal is stop, think, and breathe, and make the right choice. Stop, think, and breathe, and make the right choice. And so that's kind of like the basis for everything I do. The kid, we even at our school, they put it's in our school motto. So the kids say it every morning.
Wow, like over the intercom?
Over the intercom,
wow.
yeah. That's like our Jacob pledge.
Yeah.
So we started with it's changed. It used to be I am the best, so I'll act like the best. Mm-hmm. And that's a statement that I came up with, and then we changed it because they took the best and broke it down to brave, engaged, safe, and on target. So, but we use that stop, think, and breathe and make the right choice. And so everything I do, I start every lesson with a few of those sayings. I call it my 20-minute mental makeover. Yeah. And so we run through those sayings and we talk about them before we start our music lesson.
Did you catch that? He kind of glossed over it really quick, but I love how something that started in music class is just a song that he had written for a book ended up turning into a school-wide motto.
I do. All grades do it. And like the kindergartners are so excited once they memorize that I am the best, so I will act like the best. I will use self-control. I will make good choices. And they go through the whole spiel. I will treat others with respect. And so it's like become our like way of doing things. So when new students come in, they tell, they get them ready. Hey, so this is the way we do things in the music room. When you come in, we do this, we read this, and then we have to talk about it. And so it's becoming like our little own Jacob way of doing things.
Yeah. I love the connection that Kyrie makes back to climate and culture of the building. He recognizes that he has every single student K-5 come through his classroom every single week. And he uses that as an opportunity to set the precedent for what the climate and culture of his school could and should look like. And I think that's pretty important.
My first book I ever published was Lori Biscuit, the Music Detective.
Yeah.
And so in there, she's solving problems with musical concepts that kids need to know.
Yeah.
And so I tell these stories, and so then I go home and try to write them down and remember what I said. And so after I write it down, really Amazon has made it easy to publish books now.
Yeah.
Because you can just sign up for a free account with kdp.amazon.com.
Yeah.
And they tell you how to put it, they tell you how to do the interior and things like that, even though my piano student, Reggie Watkins, does my cover and interior because he's a younger.
But again, that's good to reach out to others, you know?
So I taught him how to play the piano, and so he helps me with it.
I'm convinced this guy's the most interesting man in the world because he also has a pretty active YouTube channel that I did some research on before chatting with him, and I was really interested in what kind of... That's a bird. I was really interested in what kind of content he puts on there, who it's on there for, so we chatted about that for a bit.
Well, one of the YouTube channels is Dimby's Teaching Tips, and I give tips to teachers, just the way I would do things in my classroom. You know, I give tips, or I might do a rant or something. That's for adults. And then my Dimby's Playful Parables, it has stories or songs for, like, just songs to help kids make right choices.
Yeah. So right as we were finishing up our interview, I wanted to give Kyrie a chance to talk to new teachers that are just entering the profession. Asked if he had like a unique lesson plan idea, a classroom management strategy, or just something that he wanted to talk to new teachers about. And this is what he shared.
Well, I do play the self-control game, and I play it with every class. And that's where I give them 10 seconds to move and shake out all their sillies and go crazy. And then they have to freeze for 20 seconds. And so I tell them, you know, don't blink, don't move. And just so that they can learn to control themselves, no scratching, no itching, anything. And so then after that, then we give 10 more seconds, and then like 30, and I just keep adding time on to it until we
end
get
of the day,
to
it's
like
6 hours.
Right. So that's a good game. And then so we talk about how hard it was for them to control themselves. Like, I wanted to scratch, or I wanted to laugh, or I froze this way, and it was hard. And so we talk about, well, if you controlled yourself then, how much easier would it be for you to control yourself in your class, or when you get angry or know that you're angry? And so those are the kinds of things that I like to do in music class. And actually, that game is on one of my YouTube channels. I think it's the Teaching Tip.
Listen, I will shamelessly plug your YouTube channel. We'll do an overlay of just clicking through your videos. We'll put a playlist together.
And so, that's one of the things that I do at the beginning of the year. And I team it with reading Simon the Self-Control Seal, because in that book we talk about hallway expectations, bus expectations, cafeteria expectations. And so I kind of use that as my way to
I'm sure the other
aid our teachers.
And I'm sure the other teachers in the building appreciate that too. So cool. And I think right there is all you need to know about Kyrie. That, yes, he's the music teacher at Jacob Elementary, but he also understands that it's not just him on an island siloed. He understands that the things that he does in his classroom play an impact beyond the doors of his classroom. and he does not take that for granted. All right, that'll be the end of episode 1 of Teachers Passing Notes. Thank you so much for joining us, and my students told me to tell you to, 1, hit subscribe down there somewhere, mash that bell, hit that like button, do whatever it is you're supposed to do. We'll be releasing a new episode, at least 1 to 2 episodes every week from here on out, so look forward to passing some more notes your way. And that was my dog, if you heard him.